Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Crack a nice drink while you enjoy this video. So I just got back from a business trip and thought to myself, you know what? I want to answer a question by making a video. Fuck, that's good. Oh man, that was needed. So anyways, a question that gets asked to me all the time is, especially from my close circle of friends and also my colleagues and the people around me, is what's a good watch to buy for around that $10,000 Aussie mark? So I know it might be someone who's gotten into Seiko's and then Tudor and finally wants to spend a bit more money around that $10,000 range. It might be someone who's just looking for a one and done, right? So they just want to, possibly sell everything and just have one watch. Or it might be someone who's purposely waited to save up that $10,000, give or take, Aussie dollars, and wants to get into something quite nice. And if you're in that market range of spending about $10,000 Aussie on a watch as a one and done, as a GADA watch, first things first, congratulations, very well done. Pluto congratulates you because here he is, the special little boy. Hey buddy, be in the video. So congratulations, job well done. Now, to keep things simple, I'm not going to include complicated watches onto this recommendations for you. So I'm going to be focusing on simple three-handers and potentially a date here and there, okay? But preferably just a simple three-hander watch as a one and done GADA around $10,000. Now, for me, I'm an enthusiast, I'm a collector. I like collecting watches. However, I have done one and dones before in the past. And funnily enough, I think I've been the happiest when I've only just had one watch because there isn't any more hunting to be done, right? There isn't any more lusting. There isn't any more, oh fuck, I gotta make more money to then buy this watch or that watch. Nah, it's just fucking, I got the one, I'm happy, and then I don't have to think about it. And this is for you. Now, we're gonna go through pricing. So from the cheapest that I've narrowed down all the way up to the most expensive. And I've gotten I've gotten four watches. And the first one would be, which I don't have on me at the moment, which I have seen in person, I have a shorts on it on my channel, is the Seamaster Aquaterra. The new one in black, 150 meters, 41 millimeter, 38 millimeter, whatever it may be. This is my first pick of the bunch. And the reason for that is the Aquaterra is a great one and done. I picked the more recent edition because it has everything a GADA watch would preferably want to have. Like if you were to get a GADA watch, it has everything that you would preferably want. And the retail price on this, and I'm not going to go into the gray used secondary pricing at the moment, I'm just going straight retail. The retail price to this is about 10,975 Aussie dollars. So it's the cheapest one on the list. And look, it's got a date, it's got a nice bracelet, it's got a good brand, it's got a good prestige about it. 38 millimeters, it's gonna fit you. You can do 41 millimeters if you wanted. You can do, I think it's 34 is their smallest one. Regardless, there is a size for you. 55 hours power reserve. It's not the best power reserve, but in all honesty, if it's just your one and done, it doesn't matter, right? Like that power reserve, it is what it is. And it's the cheapest at 10,975 Aussie dollars. Now, the newest addition to the range is great because this is the only Aquaterra for now that has the micro adjustments, and that is something that's probably worth looking into more. Now, wristwatch check, I'm wearing my Santos, which I'll get to this in a moment, but Santos has no micro adjustments. It's just, there you go, this is it, right? So as you can see on my wrist, it's quite fitted. I'm enjoying my Guinness and my wrist has expanded a little bit. It's the end of the day, basically. No. End of the day. So since I don't have any micro adjustments, I had to add a link to this in order to make it looser. However, if I added a link, it'll be too loose, right? So I wear it fitted and it's not a big problem for me. However, if you were to get that one and done, this Aquaterra being the cheaper option would have it, right? It's a very complete package. So that's your first option. I like this option as a 10,000-ish dollar range selection. Moving on, the next one is the Explorer 36. Now, I so happen to have an Explorer, but it's not steel. So the Explorer 36 in all steel retails for about $11,550, and you can find these pretty easily in the gray secondary used, but retail, you know, we're just sticking retail, $11,550. It's quite easy to get, so to speak. Here's my one. Just imagine it's all steel, very GADA-esque. You know, you've got simple three-hander, classic looks, great size, and micro adjustments. Accuracy is great, and just assume the accuracy for all these watches are great, right? And it's also got EasyLink. EasyLink is great. It has everything you need. And what I like about this watch is that you can dress it up, dress it down. It's very versatile. The all steel doesn't have this bullshit polished Centerlink situation happening, of course. So it's going to be a lot more rugged. It's going to be an easier wear, where I forgot to mention, the Aquaterra does have polished Centerlinks. It is a bit dressy in a sense. So look, if you're a bit of a ADHD scratch phobe kind of person, look, the Centerlinks, it's gonna scratch. If it's your one and done and you want to like wear it in different occasions, but the scratches, you know, bother you, something to keep in mind. 36 Explorer, however, doesn't have it if it's an all steel. The only polished bits would be the outside, so the sides, as well as the polished bezel. And in all honesty, look, I had a 40mm Explorer. It wasn't bad, man. I took it to Bali. I went to the beach with it. I went rock climbing. I did everything with it, and you know what? The scratches didn't even show, so who cares, right? That's pick number 2, $11,550. A close second to that, which I should have actually done first, before the Explorer, because it's $50 cheaper, is the Santos. Now, Santos, fantastic watch, great history, and super, super, super sexy. Very unique. There's not that many square watches out there around this price point that can pull off this fucking nice, sleek design. And it's timeless, right? It's classic. And keep in mind this list as well, this is only bracelet only. I'm not going into leather straps and rubber straps and all that shit. I'm just going straight bracelets. Santos, everything looks great on paper. Though, same problem with the Aquaterra. If polish scratches are a thing for you, so scratches on polished surfaces, this is going to be your fucking nightmare. So the polished bezel is a scratch magnet. So that's the first con. And the second con is, as I mentioned before, no micro adjust. So I wear the watch fitted, because if I don't wear it fitted, it's going to be too loose, and I don't like loose watches. As you can see on my 6.5-inch wrist, it slides still a bit of room. But as the day expands, you know, obviously it's going to get a bit tight. I'm not going to have a choice in micro adjustments, so just keep that in mind. 11,500 Aussie, just $50 cheaper than the Explorer. Now, in reality, you can obviously get the Omega and Cartier at the boutique, at the dealer. You can probably even get a discount. Not the Omega, not yet, because it's still a bit new. However, the Cartier, you might get a slight discount. Not much, maybe a 5%. And the Rollies, you're obviously not going to get a discount, right? So take that with a grain of salt. 11,500 for this, 11,550 for the Explorer. So not bad, not bad. And the final watch, look, the final watch, I have split this into 2 categories or 2 segments. And that's because you can actually configure it. And that is the Rolex Datejust 36 in a smooth bezel oyster bracelet, which retails for about 11,850. So not that much more than the Explorer. And the big boy, the Datejust 36 on the fluted Jubilee, which retails for about 14,550. Now, I thought to add both. The Datejust 36 Jubilee fluted, look, it's probably going to be out of the realm of possibility for you, realistically. If you can find one, great. If you can get one for retail, great. But more realistically, you're looking at the Datejust 36 in smooth oyster. And I don't have the smooth oyster. I have the Jubilee fluted. And look, I traded in my 41 Jubilee Smooth, which I paid only about $13,550 retail or something like that. Traded it in for this, straight swapsies, and I got this because it fits better on my wrist. And the Datejust is a great watch. If you can get it fluted Jubilee, I think it's perfect. I think it's the complete package. However, if you're going to go Oyster Smooth, look, it's still a great configuration, but you're going to come across the same issues with the Aquaterra and the Santos, where because basically, just imagine this is the Datejust, but in steel, not two-tone. The center part's going to scratch. And if that's a problem for you, I reckon have a good think about what you want. But center links will scratch. However, everything about it is like the Jubilee fluted. It's got a nice look, nice feel, lightweight. Go anywhere, do anything. It's got a date function as well. I mean, the date's a date, like whatever. And it's got an easy link adjustment for you. So you can have that on-the-fly adjustment when your wrist expands. Right, buddy? Does your wrist expand, buddy? Oh, yes, it's a good boy. So, to end the video and to give you my final recommendations, I recommend the Explorer 36 in steel. If you're going to go for a one and done, for about 10-ish grand Aussie dollars, 10-ish grand Australian dollars, get yourself a Rolex Explorer 36. Look, I got this off a trade from my brother, so obviously it's not steel, but I used to have the steel one. And then I traded it in for my brother's two-tone, which is fine. Because I had a 40 and he didn't have the 36. He had this 36 and two-tones or whatever. However, get the Explorer 36 because when you think about it, retail-wise, look, it's not that much more than the Aquaterra. The Aquaterra is very dressed up, but the center links being polished, look, it might not be the most versatile piece to take into any occasion. Like if you're going to go hiking or into like a rugged environment or maybe a more casual yet sporty environment, it's probably not going to be the best fit, but it'll still fit. Like it's still good. Don't get me wrong, but it's probably, you know, again, it's also, if it's your only watch, the scratches might bother you. And the same thing goes for the Santos. The Santos, I love this bitch. I like the watch. The scratches don't bother me, but if it's just your one and done, the scratches might bother you. And also the lack of micro adjustments. I really feel like you need to go try this on in person when your wrist is full thick as fuck, because it might not be a good fit for you. Like I know people who have this, who sold it because they just couldn't find a good fit. And this is my daily, like I hate to say it, it's my beater watch at the moment. Every time I take Pluto for a walk, I wear this watch. And yeah, I don't care if it gets dinged up, spashed, crashed. There's already a few scratches on it, which I actually never noticed there were scratches on it, but whatever. Yeah, there's actually a few scratches on it already, but whatever. That's the whole purpose of having a beater. So Santos, it might not be it for everyone, and I know that scratches are a main thing for people, especially if it's your one and done. The Datejust as well, a similar thing, scratches, polished center links, scratches and that. And look, in all honesty, the fluted Jubilee is going to be out of the price point, really. Not only that, you probably can't get one. And if you can get one, great, but you might be waiting a bit of time. So if you go secondary, you're going to get raped, you're going to get pumped. It might not be worth it for you. I think it's worth it, but it might not be worth it for you. The smooth oyster steel configuration, to me, that's a good option as well. It's not that much more than Explorer 36. If you want a bit of blinginess and also a date complication, 11,850 Aussie. It's not that much more. However, as a go anywhere, do anything, one and done, Explorer 36 fucking, to me, it takes the cake. It's a boring choice, I know. It's boring as fuck. But it wins for a reason. A lot of people pick that for a reason because you can take it into formal occasions. It looks good. And you can take it into casual settings and it looks good as well. So it's basically a Submariner without the bezel, right? That's what we're kind of going for. And yeah, it's great. It's perfect. I hope that answers the question. I hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy the rest of your drink and I'll catch you on the next one. Right, buddy? Oh, look, he's rubbing his dick.